Today I'd like to talk about Polaroid iType black and white film. Now, iType black and white film is the same material as Polaroid 600 black and white film, just minus the battery. So I decided to get a little bit of this film and I loaded it up yesterday morning, sitting around the house, having my cup of coffee, and I was sort of planning out really where I wanted to go for the day to do a little bit of shooting. So I decided to go to Glens Falls, New York, which is only about 45 minutes from my house here in Vermont, knowing that I'd have some interesting architecture, a good restaurant for lunch, and I would probably be able to pull off some images that I really like. So whenever I load a new pack of film in my camera, whether it's color or black and white, I always give the camera a quick once over to make sure the rollers are clean, and I do just my general prep on the camera before I go. So with the black and white iType film, the first thing you need to know right off the bat is that it's a higher contrast material. Having said that, it's absolutely beautiful and it has a really unique look, but I wouldn't consider it an all-around film. I consider it a film for someone who wants that noir quality to black and white, someone who doesn't mind crushing blacks in your images. Because the way that I would meter for this film, if I was using it day in and day out, is I would meter for the highlights and let the shadows fall. The highlights on this particular film blow out very, very easy. Another big benefit to this film is that it processes faster than the color material by Polaroid. If you remember in previous posts, the color material takes anywhere between a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes, and you're really not seeing the image to about 30. Whereas the black and white material, you start to see an image within 2 to 3 minutes. And somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, you've got a really good idea as to how it's gonna look when it's completely processed. And somewhere around 15 minutes, you're pretty much good to go. This film really fits someone who's looking for a more artistic approach to black and white. I like that. If you're a photographer who likes long grayscale, long gray tonality, this probably is not going to be your cup of tea. This is a definite opinionated artistic style black and white material, and for the right work, it's absolutely gorgeous. If I wanted to have a big long grayscale, my go-to would rather be to shoot the color Polaroid film and scan it as a grayscale or convert it to a grayscale in Photoshop or whatever imaging software you work with. That film has a lower contrast and it has definitely a slightly longer dynamic range in my opinion. So if I want a long grayscale, I would shoot the color and convert. But if you haven't recently shot Polaroid's black and white film, I'd say give it a shot. Don't go into it with the preconceived idea of what you're looking for. Go into it with the idea that you're going to see what the film brings to you as an artist, and then see how you can manipulate the film to get the look that you like. And this is the direction that I want to see, with just some very small refinements, Polaroid's color work to go to as well. Thank you very much for listening. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Now go shoot some film.